Urban here, your Energy Alchemista. And today I'm talking about overwhelmed. Are you feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges? Because for the next few months until the January, yeah, life's going to be having all kinds of challenges. It is a time where it's having you reflect on your spirituality. How are you doing in that area? Are you living in your purpose? Are you doing the things you're supposed to do? It's having us feel uncertain. So if you're feeling uncertain, you and a lot of other people, this is the time. What are the things that help us feel uncertain? I don't know. Life changes. Some of us have way too much on our plate. Way too much on our plate. I don't know about you. I used to have way too much on my plate. Excessive, right? Excessive responsibilities. Do you have excessive responsibilities? I think even after getting rid of a whole bunch, I still have too many. I still have a few that I could let go. So there's a lot of things causing us to deal with this roller coaster ride of emotions, right? Life's challenges. What else? Some of us actually have like PTSD. Some of us have had the worst parents. Some of us had horrific relationships. Some of us were actually in the war. Some of us are veterans. Actually, PTSD comes up from a multitude of ways. It's trauma, post-traumatic. Traumatic is the trauma. And it happens to the best of us. You don't have to have served in a war to have PTSD. You could have just had abusive parents. You could have had a really abusive relationship. Those are some of the things that we're feeling overwhelmed by life, right? What else? Some of us aren't sleeping good. Some of us are not sleeping. Oh, I'm so happy you don't have any trauma. So other things that challenge us in life is making life changes. Some of us, it's not very comfortable. Some of us, it feels overwhelming to think of having to start a new job or move to a new house. Or some of us are really having a hard time financially. I don't know if that's you, but I know sometimes I don't always have the security I want in the areas that I want in life. It's just the way it happens. So how are you feeling? If you're feeling overwhelmed, I'm telling you some of the very most helpful things is to just stop and breathe. Just really stop, put your hands together, just take a few breaths. Because when you start to do that, it helps calm all of those thoughts that are spinning and spinning and spinning around in your head. That emotional turmoil that's coming from these life changes, these life circumstances, maybe not having enough finances. A lot of us are having health issues. It is like almost the third quarter of the year. Some of us have post-COVID symptoms. Some of us, it really is stressful. Some of us have cancer, diabetes, physical ailments can overwhelm you in life, because when you have those physical ailments, then what happens is sometimes you don't have enough money to pay for those. Sometimes you have to quit your job. Sometimes your job lets you go, right? There are so many things that can happen. Trey stands for Tracy. Thanks for asking. No, so this is the thing that happens, okay, you guys? One of the things you can do is focus on the things you're in control over, right? So if you're getting all stressed out and overwhelmed watching the news, please stop watching the news. The news is not helping you. Promise. And if you feel like you have to, do it in shorter spurts, okay? Other ways you could calm the chaos is when's the last time you actually assessed, really assessed what is working for you and the practical steps to get there. Because some of us won't delegate. I don't know about you. I used to be one of those people. I used to not delegate. Even though I had like 3 kids in the house that were old enough to handle a lot of responsibility, I wanted to do it all. So, maybe assess some areas in your life that you can delegate some of the responsibility so that you don't have to do it all. It's awesome for your kids to learn how to take care of things like the dishes and clean and do amazing things like that. And at the same time, you get to be relieved. You're not overwhelmed anymore. So start assessing the areas that you're really feeling overwhelmed in. If you're feeling overwhelmed in all of your life, then now's the time to decide what areas need to change, because that's usually telling you, if you're overwhelmed in your job, that it's probably time for you to start looking for another one, or start asking for the things that you need in your environment. So many people are nervous to ask their bosses for what they really need, and a lot of times you'll get it. If you ask for what you want, you'll actually get it. The probability, it's 50-50 chance. So overwhelming things in life. What has you overwhelmed? Is it relationships? Do you have a really toxic family that's turbulent, that are takers? Do you have relationships in your life that are supporting, or are they vampiring you? Are they taking all your energy? You're the only one who knows. Okay, so what areas are you feeling like really illuminated spiritually? Are you feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm in my purpose and I'm living my best life? Because if that's not you, I'm telling you, assess where are you feeling overwhelmed at? Because life is going to keep bringing you challenges. It was promised that we would all have trials of many kinds. It is a guarantee. It is part of the deal why we're here, to ascend into a better version of ourselves. I believe that everything that's happening in our life that's causing me to get uncomfortable, causing me to question my environment or the people around me, that it's a blessing. It's a blessing helping me to align with a better life. Are you ready for a better life? It is time for you to decide that, because when you decide that you're ready for a better life, then you start taking those pieces that you're so overwhelmed in and you start doing something different. Give yourself permission to do something really different. What is that different for you? Are you ready for a new job? Are you ready for a new job? Are you ready to live in a new place? I am so ready. I am manifesting, creating, praying, giving so much thanks and gratitude for my new house. I'm ready. I'm ready for a new house. I have a house on the market ready to be sold. I'm so grateful for that to be sold. And is it nerve-wracking? Yes, because I was real comfortable in the old house that I lived in for many, many years, but I'm ready for a new experience in life. And the only way you're going to get new experiences is when you choose it. Are you ready to retire? I kind of am retired too. That's why I'm out here living in an RV. Many of you guys who hop on my lives, you see my little cute place. It's because I'm actually living in an RV because I decided I don't want to go back to Colorado. So feeling like you're going to retire, does that feel overwhelming? It does for a lot of people, because you're like, now what? Now what? Now what? Do you have a plan? Have you given thought or consideration to what your next step is now that you're going to be retired? What does that look like for you? Are you going to start fishing? Are you going to start maybe doing the things you haven't done? What does that look like? Maybe join a sports league. Maybe do some different stuff, right? It's time to travel. Oh my gosh. Travel is so freaking exciting. I love to travel. But you know what? Some people are overwhelmed by traveling. Some people lose it in a freaking airport. Some people are overwhelmed by even the thought of being on an airplane. It is amazing. So I'm reading the chat. Yes, yes, yes. It takes certain positive people who talk about who have an understanding about how to create your life, how to change your mindset, how to shift your thoughts, how to then start taking control of the things you're in control over. And what you're in control over is you. You're in control of your environment. You're in control of what you think about what's happening. And when you start taking back control and saying, you know what? I'm done being around crazy people who don't support me and celebrate me and encourage me and do all those wonderful things. Because I want you to look at your life right now, and I want you to really ask yourself, who's in your corner right now? Who's supporting you right now? Do you have a tribe, a circle, someone, people, family, friends, a support group, work co-workers? Who is supporting you right now? Right now. Because we're not meant to do this alone. We are not meant to be here going through this life on our own. So if you're feeling really overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you aren't able to make this change by yourself, well, I would love to hold your hand. I would love to hold your hand through it. I have my link in the chat, and I would love to hold your hand through the overwhelm, help you shift and alchemize all of that stress and worry and overwhelm into purity, so that you can begin giving vision and thought to the most amazing things that could happen in your life. Once you give yourself permission to get really uncomfortable, because it's going to be uncomfortable to move through the overwhelm, but it's possible. So first things, if you weren't on first, if you are feeling so freaking overwhelmed in life, if you're overwhelmed by your job, by your kids, are you stressed the heck out, please put your hands together just for a few minutes and start breathing. And when you do that, it cuts off all of the energy of the outside world, and your hands that are always giving and receiving start giving back to you. They start giving back to you, and then when you start getting in this place, you will feel calmer. And then what begins to happen is you'll get the new ideas, the new thoughts, the new ways, the new words. You'll begin to ask the questions like, how can I move forward? Which area of my life should I give focus to right now? Because if you're trying to fix your health, fix your kids, fix and get a new job and buy a new house all at the same time, of course you're going to be overwhelmed. Because we can only do one thing really well, maybe two. One thing at a time, maybe two. One thing at a time, maybe two. Depending on what it's going to take for you to do the first thing, right? So what is it you want to give focus to? Do you want to give focus to retirement and what you're going to do during retirement? Somebody was putting in the chat, what are you giving focus to? Oh, I'm sending you such a big hug around your heart space, around your husband passing away, because that is overwhelming, starting life over. It is now a new version of you that you were so comfortable. You had a partner for such a long time, and now it's you. Now it's time for you to do it on your own. So I'm praying for your continued strength and courage, and that you continue to lean on Creator, source of all things, infinite comfort. And I ask that Creator provide you with the support you need right now. That support, whether it comes from your church or your family, your neighbors, whatever that is, I ask that you be wrapped around your heart and your life, so that you can start to manifest, create, give thought to the new version of you, the new things that you have in store for you, that your husband would have wanted for you. What did your husband want for you? Did he want for you to be peace, experience peace and joy? And I'm sure he still wants that for you now. So it's up to us now to reset those emotions, to mourn the loss. Give yourself permission to go through the mourning process. It's a journey. You're on the journey. You're still in the journey. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by that, I am inviting you to get support. Get support, because that you are in control of. You are in control of the choices you make moving forward. So whether or not it's your job, or you're in a tumultuous relationship that is violent, that you need to leave, now is the time. Now is the time to start taking care of you in the best way, in the fullest way. It's time for you to put you first. So what does that look like? Slow down. Give yourself time to ask yourself, what areas of my life do I need to change right now? What is the one that is bothering me the most? And you already know. You already know which one it is. It's either your job, your finances, your family, your environment, your friends. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. So now once you pin, that's the one. Like, right, I said do one or two things. Pick one or two things. Pick the most problemsome area, and then start giving focus to what needs to happen in that area for you to not feel overwhelmed. Do you need to get support? Do you need to start delegating? Do you need to start delegating your workload, whether it's at home, at your job? Because I promise you, there's somebody around that you can delegate to. There's always a support. When you give thanks for the support arriving, it really will, in a multitude of ways. But then you got to accept it, allow it, accept and allow the help. Okay? Focus on the things that you're in control over. Sometimes we're not in control over our living environment. Sometimes we're not in control over the exact job we're currently in, but we are in control of whether or not we're starting to look for another job, whether or not we're starting to put away money so that we could change our environment, so that we could start making different money, right? So that we could change our environment. Life is going to be overwhelming for us. It was a promise from Creator. He said we would all have trials of many kinds. Trials of many kinds. Those trials are here to help us evolve, help us to learn to do better things, to do different things. Because if you're going to keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So when you're ready for a new experience, it's going to require a new mindset for you to think differently and perceive differently about your experience. It's going to require that you gain control of your emotions, that you're able to help yourself align with whatever is needed for you to move through the depression, through the anxiety, through the worry. And if you can't do it by yourself, give yourself permission to get help. I would love to hold your hand. I can help. I have helped over 1,200 people shift into their best life. So if that's you, get in the chat. The link's in the chat. I've helped over 1,200 people. You could be on the way to the 1,300 people that I've helped. If you're going to do this by yourself, I invite you to put your hands together and breathe. This is the number one fastest resetting modality in all of the world for stress, for anxiety, for healing, for calming. Because your hands have nerve endings to your entire body. And when you're over here touching things and touching things and touching the phone and doing this and doing that, they are giving and receiving energy every second. that they are not. That's why you see so many speakers and influential people having their hands together, because it helps you maintain focus. It helps you to not absorb energy, pick up any more energy than you already need. It also helps create a circle through your heart, into your hands, back around to yourself, back through your heart, back through you. And it helps you to pour into yourself your own heart space. It doesn't have to be tight. It doesn't have to be clenching. It just, relax, relax. Relax and breathe. Breathe. It's a choice. Some of us have to force ourselves. I had to force myself to learn how to do this. It didn't come easy for me. It took me weeks. Weeks. I'm just saying, it took me weeks to breathe. Not to live, but to breathe, to calm myself. So another thing, you guys, pay attention to the things you're in control over. Because the things, when you start getting a list of the things that you're in control over, you start to lose the overwhelm, and you start gaining strategies and steps, because you're like, you know what, I can't control how these people are in my job, but I control how I show up or what I do. Then you start doing things like listening to happy music before you go into work. You start putting on headphones. You start shifting how you show up. So, you guys, thanks for hopping on. I'm Trey. I'm your Energy Alchemista. I would love to help you. If you are feeling overwhelmed and unable to calm the storm, give yourself permission to get help, even if it's not from me. There's a multitude of ways that you can get help. So I am sending you so much love. I'm sending you health, abundance, alignment, and all of the positive energy that serves your highest and greatest good to help you move into alignment with your best life. Blessings until next time.